We've just heard from Trevor Sinclair, who is at home, Trevor, with a throat problem this morning. And we're going with that. We're not for one moment suggesting there's a sickie being pulled here. But Trevor tells me, Jim, Simon, Manchester City were the better team for 89 minutes. The substitutes made sense. Kevin De Bruyne looked leggy, Grealish to carry the ball, and Gundogan to bring calm and experience on the ball, which led to two opening goal chances. And then some big chances were created, but a couple of silly decisions late on in the game. Crossing the ball into an empty box gave them possession, and their opening goal gave them hope, and Real Madrid pounced. Camavinga was excellent in extra time. They managed that period well, but the referee should have carded Casemiro for the De Bruyne and Foden challenges, and that would have affected the performance, and it would have affected the result. I'm not sure what we make of that, actually. Here's an interesting one from Dr. Say Ah. I don't suppose that's the doctor's real name. But good morning, Jim. Good morning, Simon. I'm an ENT specialist. A quick diagnosis of Trevor's condition this morning is having a great deal of problems swallowing his pride. So maybe Trevor does have a throat problem, but he's given us his view as to what happened and why it went wrong for City last night, right at the very end, and why they don't now progress to the final in Paris. A Manchester United fan by the name of Paul comes to air. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Simon.
Morning.
Good morning to you, Paul. What do you want to say about your noisy neighbour?
Well, first I'd like to hope that Trevor's okay. I'm not sure if he has any animals in the house because it seems the cat has got his tongue. But
yeah,
I'm not sure. I just want to wish him all the best and a speedy recovery.
We'll pass that on. Yeah.
And as for Simon, I love listening to Simon consistently about footballers' wages, and I hope actually something is effective in the long run. But in reference to last night, I actually was supporting Manchester City. I wanted them to get to the final.
Yeah.
I thought that the only team that could actually beat Liverpool, I think Liverpool will beat Real Madrid. But my question is, does actually Pep, Mr. Klopp's just signed a new contract and justified as well, but does Pep actually justify a new contract being offered to him if he actually doesn't win the league as well?
That means do you know what, Paul? That's a very good question. Simon, with his contract expiring next summer, will the elusive Champions League, as far as City is concerned, will that impact Pep's future decision?
Well, it's very easy to fire somebody or to take them out of the commission. It's very much more difficult, as we have seen, to replace them. You know, you look at it and say Man United have had this embarrassment of riches, apparently, or according to the outlook of the club, and they have alighted upon a manager that's managing in Dutch football, albeit a very good manager. Look, I think they will win the league, so I think it's a moot point. But if they don't win the league and they come out of a season trophyless, then there will be a lot of explicit criticism because he hasn't signed a centre forward. He laid all his eggs in one particular basket, which was Harry Kane. It does make a difference to a side, having a fulcrum at the middle, at the centre of their offensive play. And of course, the questions will abound if you come out of a season in the situation where you've not won the league, you've not defended the League Cup, you've not won the FA Cup, and you've got knocked down the Champions League. No one can say that's an unmitigated failure. But what you turn around and say, that is a pretty big disappointment. But again, I go to the point that I think they'll win the league. Then what do you do with that? Who out there do we believe in this conversation, because we're very good at telling people what they can't do rather than what they should do?
I'd agree with that, Simon. But
who would take over? But
from his perspective, though,
he's got to win the Champions League. He's got to win the Champions League for Man City if he attaches the value to it that we believe that Man City do. If we believe in the minds of those owners that the unequivocal reason for Pep Guardiola being employed with Man City was the Champions League was at the top of their to-do list, then we are in a situation where somewhere along the lines Pep Guardiola is going to be taken out unless he wins it.
I think it's absolutely top of the to-do list, and that's why they spend 100 million on the likes of Grealish. Not that Grealish is a surefire bet to win you the Champions League, but he'll certainly try and contribute to you winning the big one, which is the Champions League.
Chelsea spent £100 million on Lukaku not to win the Champions League, but to advance their team. That's what money. That's what players cost now. Tragically, advancing your side and moving it forward is not the same as buying a player specifically to win the Champions League.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a morning like this when we pick over the bones of a massive result if Tony, the Liverpool fan, didn't join us, and Tony is joining us. Good morning.
Morning, Jim. Morning, Simon.
Morning, Tony.
Good morning, Tony. Where's your head with this end this morning? I mean, you're in the final, mate.
Well, yeah, to be honest, Jim, I think Man City are getting a bit of undue stick, to be honest, this morning. You've got to remember, he's lost Kyle Walker. He had to bring him back, which was a gamble. Obviously, it backfired. And he's had to bring off Kevin De Bruyne after 72 minutes because he obviously doesn't think there's 90 minutes in him. Or if he does push him to 90 minutes, he might lose him. He's only got to lose him for 4 games. That's the end of the season. And we saw it in the FA Cup semi-final. Without De Bruyne and without Kyle Walker's pace sweeping up anywhere around the back, he gets right across that pitch. They're a very different team. They're not the same team. And I think what's happening now is you're seeing how much Liverpool have rotated, particularly since Christmas. We've rotated so much, and all of our players have had a good rest. They're all flying. They really are flying.
Tony, be honest with me. Would you rather have played City in the final in Paris than the team you're about to meet?
Do you know what? To be honest, Jim, I don't think it matters because you've just got to play the final on its merits. And at the end of the day, it's not about performance in a final. You've got to get over the line. You've got to get over that. And I think as we get closer to the finishing line for the Premier League, I think Man City, I can't see them having the juice to get to the line. I honestly think they're going to run out of gas. I think that's what's happening to them.
Wow. And because of that, your boys would be on for the quadruple, which you think is doable.
Well, you know, I would like to think that it's impossible because no one's ever done it. But as we keep knocking off these games, it becomes more feasible, more possible.
But Tone, when you talk about rotating your players, and I understand that, but you had 2 of your leading components off at the African Cup of Nations playing in very intense football all the way to the final. So they had just as busy a schedule, and the way that Liverpool play is far more dynamic than Man City. So I don't understand why, despite rotating certain aspects of it, 2 key components of your side are Mane and Salah, and they are not being rotated because they've been away at big tournaments.
But they brought in Luis Diaz.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, we've got 7 options up front. You've got the front 3, Diaz, Jota, Minamino and Divock Origi. So, you know, at the end of the day, Klopp is going to put a very competitive 11 out against anybody. And deep into games, especially when you've got 5 subs, and this is where we go into next season, 5 subs is going to suit Liverpool down to the ground because of the power of that squad. You're really going to see it from the very beginning of next season because he can rotate heavily right across the pitch. We've got no weaknesses at all, in my opinion.
Tony, great call. As always from you, my friend, great call. No weaknesses. You hear that, Simon? And Tony is a student of the game.
Everybody's got weaknesses.
He's everywhere with Liverpool.
Everybody's got weaknesses.
No weaknesses, Liverpool.
Everybody's got weaknesses. Otherwise, Liverpool would be running away with the Premier League. And wouldn't have been 2-0 down at half-time to Villarreal. Everybody's got weaknesses. It's about whether your strengths exceed the weaknesses of the opposition.
Trevor Sinclair, we hope your strengths exceed your weakness this morning and that you go over that throat problem. But thanks so much for your message, mate. Good luck to City and their fans from this point onwards. It was a hard one to take last night, and we'll see, just like Trevor, how they all recover.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.